Biden pats himself on the back. More pork in the COVID relief bill is revealed. And Lady Gaga is aghast about her dogs. I'm Michelle Mortensen, and this is what you need to know right now, this Thursday, February 25th, 2021. All right, let's talk about pork.
Point, point. We'll be pigs.
No. We're not talking about pigs here. We are talking about wasteful, unnecessary spending in the nearly $2 trillion COVID relief bill.
That makes more sense.
See, over on page 305 of the 600-page bill, the Democrats have a plan to offer federal employees, people who work for the government, an additional 15 weeks of paid leave through September 30th, just to stay home with their kids who learn remotely.
Ka-ching!
Now, that probably sounds pretty awesome if you work for the government, but let's not forget, federal employees have been paid this entire time during the lockdowns and all of the pauses.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's normal folks like you and me who've actually had careers and businesses destroyed thanks to unnecessary, unscientific, solely fear-based lockdowns. The truth is 50% of this COVID relief bill does nothing for COVID relief. It's pork.
Oink.
Oh, but let's be fair. The bill has one thing in it for us normal guys, a one-time stimulus check for $1,400 that won't even cover your rent.
So there's nothing.
Oh, and just so you know, this $2 trillion bill, if passed, will hurl the United States into $30 trillion of debt. And do you know what happens when government debt skyrockets? Well, interest rates go up. And interest rates go up because the government has to print more money to buy government debt. And when interest rates go up and the Fed creates more money, the stock market goes down like it did today. Gosh, all this progressive socialism is really paying off. We'll be like Greece in no time.
Is that bad?
Yeah, it's not good.
So as of today, kids still aren't in school full time. We aren't reopened, and we still have to wear masks for really no reason at all. But that didn't stop President Biden from patting himself on the back today for 50 million vaccine doses being given out since he took office.
What? I'm supposed to be impressed?
But that's really him taking credit for states that have had effective vaccine programs like Florida, West Virginia, and Connecticut, where they've kept it pretty simple and just given the vaccine out. Unlike states like New York, California, and Nevada, run by Democrats who are so concerned with equity, they forgot all about equality and made it confusing and pointless. And they created these tier systems that really don't work. And people who want the vaccine can't get it. But sure, President Biden, you go ahead and brag. After all, your own party thinks you're incompetent and wants to take the nuclear codes from you. And that's not a joke. That's actually for real. Democrats wrote a letter asking President Biden to give up the nuclear code power because they simply don't trust him with all that power. I mean, it's clearly a power grab from greedy Democrats in Congress, and it's also possibly very unconstitutional, but it was also a low-key confession that they have some real concerns about Biden.
Aren't we all thinking that?
Meanwhile, Facebook says it's received an appeal on behalf of President Trump to restore his accounts on Facebook and Instagram. The oversight board has 90 days to make a decision, which Facebook claims it just can't overturn. But that's a lie. It's totally within their ability to overturn it. They just don't want to. The bigger question is, how did a social media platform originally created by Harvard elitist snobs who really just wanted to rate chicks, how did they now control free speech and political thought in this country?
I honestly don't know. I have a degree in political science from Princeton, and all that wasted mental energy has to go somewhere.
And they aren't the only big tech company overreaching these days. Amazon just banned a book that it sold for more than 2 years because they claim it's hate speech now. Really, it's a conservative book with an alternative view on transgendered issues. However, actual hate speech, Hitler's Mein Kampf, is still for sale on Amazon for $22 with 1-day Prime shipping.
Are you freaking kidding me right now?
So if you're keeping score here, actual hate speech is allowed on Amazon, but conservative views on the transgendered movement, not allowed. That's hate speech.
That makes no sense.
But even women who are liberal admit there are some huge concerns with the transgendered movement, particularly when it comes to women's sports. Get this, former tennis champ and all-around badass Maria Navratilova has said publicly transgendered athletes in women's sports is insane and cheating. So is Amazon going to cancel her? Will Facebook? Well, no, she's a gay woman, and that would be hate speech. They only cancel conservatives.
They do. They sure do.
Gender identity is actually a huge issue right now as Congress prepares to pass a new Equality Act, one that bans discrimination against people based on sexual orientation and gender identity. Now, I know this sounds like something that really everyone should support because it has the word equality in it. But think about what this law, this bill is potentially saying. It's offering protection based on gender identity. So even if you're scientifically, say, I don't know, a man, and you identify as a woman, you would get protection. But see, women already get protection since we currently can't discriminate based on sex. I mean, that's what Title IX is about, plus a host of other laws on the books. And in a time where Democrats keep talking about equity over equality, this Equality Act could really make things get super dicey. I mean, hear me out here. See, in some places, minority-owned businesses can actually get special grants or money because the government is constantly telling us that some people just don't get a fair shake. But now with this Equality Act, a white guy who identifies as a Black woman must be treated as they identify. So they should get that grant money for their business, right? Because even though they're truly a white male, they identify as a Black female, and that makes them a minority. And science can't be applied here because we've decided opinion trumps fact. Fake wokeness is super hard and complicated, isn't it?
It really is.
And Governor Cuomo news calls for an investigation into the sexual misconduct allegations from his former aide are growing. The worst mayor in America, Bill de Blasio, a Democrat, even says an investigation needs to happen. But you know what's peculiar? Some people have been very silent through all this. You know, Democratic women like Hillary Clinton, Kristen Gillibrand, and AOC. They shouted from the rooftops during the Kavanaugh hearing that we should all believe women.
I believe her because she's telling the truth.
Dr. Christine Blasey Ford is a courageous woman.
I want to thank you for your courage, and I want to tell you I believe you.
Not only do women like Dr. Ford, who bravely comes forward, need to be heard, but they need to be believed.
But should we really expect anything different from the people who blamed Monica Lewinsky for Bill Clinton's bad behavior? And the people who ignored all the allegations of a former intern who said that Joe Biden sexually assaulted her? No, no, no. We shouldn't expect anything from them because they're hypocrites and they will never change.
They really are the worst.
Finally, tonight, you could be $50,000 richer if you find Lady Gaga's 2 missing dogs.
Wait, are you serious?
They were stolen last night when her dog walker was walking the dogs in Hollywood, and someone actually brazenly came up to him and shot him. I mean, a horrific crime. The dog walker is in critical condition tonight. I have to wonder, though, how does Lady Gaga feel about that whole defund the police thing now? Because, you know, police presence actually prevents crime. And police can actually help when there's things like, I don't know, shootings or theft. It's amazing. But I think Lady Gaga just proved the police are good and necessary after all.
Yes, she did.
And that's what you need to know right now. I'm Michelle Mortensen. You can tune in every single Monday through Thursday for the news you need the way you want it. Fun and fast. Catch all of our episodes on Grabit TV, GRABET.com. And be sure to tune in for the Michelle Mortensen Show tomorrow, Friday at noon, right here or on Grabit TV. I'll see you next time.
Time to get real.